I've done it once. I've done it again. And now it is time for everyone's favorite show. What is the best pyro primary weapon? Yay! 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 As in Pyro would say, Let's begin. First of all, I got some things wrong in the soldier video. Apparently, the original has different rockets. Has a different rocket positioning. That's fine. But this time, the rainblower is the same thing. The only thing different is that it has particles. So, no, stop! Now, alright, I had a lot of detail to these ones, and I now have a little fire counter. Fire counter at 10. Yeah! I'm probably gonna spell this wrong. I'm probably gonna read this wrong. Neonapalm. God, I didn't even try that one. These are all the same. They're all the same. They're all of them. But I do have the stats here. And this looks really good. It's more of like a support pyro. Extinguishing enemies and reflecting projectiles restores 25 health. Air Blast has 50% cheaper air blast cost, and air blast projectiles and enemies are ignited, but it has 20% damage penalty and 75% faster primary fuel tank combustion. I think that's a fancy word for saying that it has less fire in the chamber. Anyway, the back burner, a good one. So the back burner, it's pretty simple. Burns your back. It does 100% critical hit chance from behind and extinguishes enemies, restores 20 health. But it has way less air blast cost. But it has a lot of air blast cost. Plus 150 air blast cost. So you can barely do that thing. So, with that giant downside, it basically, The Decreaser. This weapon deploys faster. The weapon holsters faster. What? Extinguishing enemies restore 20 health. I don't think y'all know this, but most of the TF2 fans do not even realize that Pyro's Air Blast can to extinguish players. With that sign tangent out of the way, it has minus 66% backburn damage penalty, and it has less air blast cost. The Flog. I'm sorry, I meant to say the Flog. So sorry. The Flog. The Flog. Anyway. Alright. The Flog. No. Okay, so build up oomph by dealing damage. Ult fire on full oomph to gain critical hits for several seconds. Invulnerable while oomph taunting. No random crits and no air blast. You can see why this is the problem with this weapon. You see, no random crits, that's fine, I can deal with that. But no air blast. You know how many issues that you can do with how many issues that you can solve with air blast? And this entire blue section might as well be red, because invulnerable while oomph taunting. What oomph taunting is, it's basically just the default pyro flamethrower taunt, where he raises his flamethrower up and does yeah. But you God forbid that there is not a demo man nearby, because you know that man's gonna place down a couple stickies while you're doing that. And by the way, it's not an uber charge with a crit. It's the invulnerability stops when you stop taunting. And also you get crits for several seconds. How many seconds? Like 5? I think so. Also, this weapon does not have air blast, so it's basically impossible to gain that oomph. You're welcome. The Dragon's Fury. This is a big list. It's a biggest list than any of the other ones. So, Dragon Fear. Used to share pressure tank for prime. I'm just gonna. Primary weapon launches a fast-moving projectile that briefly ignites enemies. Alt fire to release a blast of air that pushes enemies and projectiles. This is just the equivalent of air blast. Burp. Extinguisher enemies, restores 20 health. Deals 300% damage to burning players. That doesn't sound right. Plus 50% per oh my god. This powerful single shot flamethrower towards captions hits with faster. I'm just gonna. So, what pyro primary is the biggity bash? Whee! We need to figure this out together. By the way, I'm holding the butterfly knife. Hello. I'm gonna put it down. So, what is the best one? Well, it's based on what you do. Well, it's based on what you want to pick. First of all, if you want to be annoying, use the flog. Same with the cow mangler. And it depends on what you want to do. So, in my personal opinion, my favorite is the back burner. Huh. Now that I look back on this, it doesn't really seem the best. It's just a measly 6. I rated these. I rated them. We're right here. In retrospect, in my opinion, when I made this, the Nero napalm seemed the best, and I stand by that opinion. Because extinguishing enemies and reflecting projectiles restores 25 health. Cheaper air blast cost, and air blasting projectiles and enemy players are ignited. That is good. This is a support pyro weapon. This is not some sort of like go in and WM1. This is for when you want to be support. This is for WM1. This is, I don't know what you want this to be. I don't know. But this is a support pyro weapon. So yeah. So I think the Nitro Napalm is the best one in my opinion. Now, thank you very much, and thank you very much. Neo Napalm is my favorite, and also, before I get the video off, I say this in every single one of these, take my opinion with 5 trillion pounds of salt! And that includes this one as well. Anyway, without that out of the way, I should have said that at the beginning of the video. I suck at this. Alright. Thank you very much for listening to me yap for how long did this video go? Oh, 8 minutes. Alright. Thank you for listening for me yap for 18 minutes. And, goodbye. Xiao Hong Shi!